Alright guys, welcome back to a day on Two Eagles Garage. Got the little Ariens EZR 1540 here working on today. We're finally ready to put the deck on it. I haven't started the wiring yet or put the switch on it, but that's to come next. I want to make sure the deck's going to work good, and I want to make sure that I'm going to have everything I need, because I know it runs and works. I can hot wire it if I need to. I'm not worried about that. And I still have to find a seat for it. But other than that, we're good. I know the deck doesn't move. And the last time I messed with it, this pulley was locked up, and I know the tensioner is locked up. So I'm going to pull them off. I'm going to clean around them. I'm going to clean some of this rust bubbling off. And I'm going to just clean it up, make it work, and make sure all the pulleys are lubed and working good. And then we're going to go from there. I've already pre-loosened these bolts. I'm loosening this one now. So you guys can watch for a few minutes as I take things apart here.
I want to watch it too, Dad.
You can watch, baby. Didn't expect it to come off that quick, guys.
Whoopsie, Daddy.
Yeah. Alright, that's
Whoopsie
that bolt.
daisy.
And you got to pull a washer up under this bolt. Don't lose it, because that'll help keep the spacing right. Plus you got bearings up under here too. Oh yeah, that one's stuck on there good. We might have to tap that one off. Hope you guys can see well with my big head in the way. And these, I don't know if they're factory or not, but they look like it.
They're not factory.
They're not, huh?
Because I can tell by the shape of them.
Really?
Yeah, because they're shaped like ovals.
The covers are factory, but the bolts are not factory.
Okay.
I'm trying to do all this without taking these bars and stuff off too, because I don't want to deal with those.
I know. I know that, Daddy.
Somebody fit too small of a washer on here, so I'm trying to get these washers off. There we go. Pulleys up under them actually don't look too bad.
Good job, Daddy.
Thank you. Yeah, got decent pulleys. That belt may need to be replaced after a while. But see what I mean? The belt's not holding the tension. I mean, the tensioner's not holding the tension on. So it's freezing up right here, so I'm going to pull this off and clean all that out real good and grease it up and stuff like that. I'll bring you guys back whenever I get everything taken apart. I'll show you before I pull the pulleys off. Alright guys, I've got everything unhooked now. The only thing I didn't do was pull this off. I unhooked the spring and I took the covers off. Now all we got to do is get it loosened up so that hopefully we can pull this off and maybe get to that belt. But I think I'm going to have to grab a hammer. Babe girl, will you look in that bottom drawer right there and get me a hammer, please?
Actually, use my hammer.
Okay, that'll be fine. Babe girl wants me to use her hammer today. Alright, put your safety glasses back on, please.
Okay.
I don't want to hit this too hard because I don't want to mushroom it.
I know.
So don't hit it too hard. See if I can get it to turn. Yeah, that ain't happening. Alright, let's try to get this belt off here.
I tried and I didn't.
Yeah. Alright guys, this pulley right here is seized up. I think those bearings are junk. So I gotta figure out how I'm gonna get this contraption off of here.
I maybe want to back up. Oh, my ears. My ears.
I think that's gonna work. Get a little bit of turn out of it. Well, let me grab a little liquid encouragement over here, guys. And on today's episode, we got PB Blaster. This stuff works good. We'll get us a little bit down in there without spraying ourselves in the process. I want to spray some on here, but that's still got a clip on it, so I'll wait on that for now. Let's see what we can get this thing to do here.
When you said without spraying it on you, I laughed.
We may have to get a puller out to get this thing off. I don't know that I have a puller to get it off. A bearing splitter that might work. Alright guys, I'm gonna get this pulley off and I'll come back to you. Alright guys, after much beating and banging, it finally come off. And I got it off without having to use any heat. But those bearings are shot. So I'm gonna have to look at getting some bearings for it, because that's the pulley that wasn't turning. It was not turning at all. I'm assuming those are bearings. That's what they look like. Yeah, they're sealed bearings. They've even got a part number on them, which is a miracle, because usually you don't see the part number. So I'll be able to use that part number and find me some new ones. But we'll get that cleaned up, and that shouldn't be a problem. We'll get this pulley off next, because it's locked up too. I bet it's got to have bearings on it too. We'll get this clip out of here. Let's see if my pair of pliers on my side can do it. Ooh, I don't know about that. That one's awful stuck. There we go. Now we can try to free this up. There is a washer up under it too. So keep in mind here. This one doesn't look like it has bearings in it. This one looks like it has plastic spacers in it. I bet those are going to be hard to find. Yeah, that's what it looks like. It looks like it's plastic spacers and they've dry rotted. A little more beating and banging. Probably not a smart idea. Let's give it a little lube inside it. Maybe we can get it to move a little bit. how the chunk's coming out down here? Freeing up a little bit. Oh, look, there we go. I just got it come loose. Yep. That's going to go well. It's just a matter of breaking all that plastic up and getting it out of there. We'll bang on it a little more. It's getting there. Ah, there we go. Whew. Yeah, you can see what's left of that plastic bushing in there. The light's right on it. Whoever's idea it was to use plastic bushings on these things was crazy. Maybe we can find a brass bushing or something to replace it. But this shaft is trash. I don't even know if that would be usable anymore or not. May have to scrap this project unless I can replace this shaft somehow. Because I don't know if this whole unit is replaceable or not. I don't know about this one, guys. This one's looking like it may be a bust because of that right there. Unless I can replace this whole shaft, but that depends on how much it is. I mean, the spindles spin. They're a little tight, but they spin. They'd probably loosen up as they spun as you got it fixed. But this right here may hurt us. I may be able to remake it and put a new shaft on it. But I'll have to look at it and see what I can find available. Because it's welded in there pretty good. This whole plate and assembly, like I said, looks like it may be replaceable, but once again, it's all about price. I ain't putting a whole lot of money into this mower. Alright guys, it looks like that may be it for today. I'm gonna have to do a little research and see what I can come up with. Figure out what I want to do about this, if I want to put a plastic bushing in it and just send it, or if I want to try to replace it. Mike could take this plate off. I mean, y'all can see it's pretty rusty. Let me take you guys off the tripod and give you guys a better view. Yeah, like I said, it's pretty rusty. See that shaft right there? See how much it's worn down right there? How the difference in thickness? And then you got all this rust pitting right here, and then this plate right here is peeling apart. I mean, there's likely still good steel up under it, so I could still salvage it. But I just don't know, guys. I mean, I'm going to have to look and do some investigating and see just how far I want to take this thing. Alright guys, I think I figured out what I'm going to do here. As you can see, I got the plate off. I think I've about figured out what I want to do. I took that rod that was poking through there. You know, this was sitting like this right here. And it had that rod poking up through there. That was the one that was degraded so bad. I took and cut it off and drilled it out. Yeah, the hole's a little off center, but that won't matter. It was hard to get it centered. It wouldn't center up for some reason, even though I center punched it. But I drilled it out. That's not as big as I needed. I'm gonna need to drill it bigger anyway, so I'm not too worried about the hole not being centered. And that I was right. There was a plastic bushing in here, and it just fell apart. I mean, it just crumbled. So what I'm gonna do is I drilled this out. So I'm going to go to the hardware store and find me a bolt big enough to fit either the inside of this, or find me a bolt and make me a bushing to go in here. Maybe like a brass bushing or something like that to kind of shrink the size down. Because if I can shrink it down a little bit, I can use a smaller bolt. I don't want to go much smaller because I don't want to break it. And then I'm going to take some wire brushes over here. I got some twisted wire brushes over here. I'm going to clean up all that rust bubbling and flaking, and I'm going to paint it. I'm not going to paint the whole deck. I'm not even going to color match it. It's just going to be whatever color I can find. I'm going to get everything cleaned up and get everything situated. These are still kind of stiff, so I may need to spray some oil down in them, but we'll see. And I'll come back to you guys whenever I figure out a conclusion. You guys have a good day. Stay safe. And remember, any day in the shop is a good day.